Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabi ahlillahi wa man tabi'ahum bil ihsan ila yawmiddin. Brothers and sisters, I welcome you back to another episode of our Tajweed classes where we'll try to explain the rulings, the principles guiding Tajweed in order to enhance our Quranic recitation and further help with our Quranic memorization. So practically in our previous classes, we've been able to explain the Ahkam Nuun Sakinah with Tanween in relation. Then we said Ahkam Nuun Sakinah, which is the principles and the rulings of Nuun Sakinah and Tanween, are actually four. We explained that we have Al-Idghaam, Al-Idghaam, Al-Iqlab, and Al-Ikhfa. Yes, talking of Al-Idghaam, since we've already understood everything we need to know about Al-Idghaam, now Al-Idghaam is the second ruling under An-Nun Sakinah wa Tanween. Now, what is Al-Idghaam about? We've learned that Al-Idghaam means showing, making something vivid. Idgham is the opposite of Izhar. Simple. That is, Al-Idgham means fusion. It means putting, not showing something. Let me put it that way. It means fusing or the fusion of two things into themselves. That is what Al-Idgham means. Now, they would say Al-Idgham is what, for example, Adghamtu al-lajama fi famm al-faras. When we say famm al-faras is, I don't know if you know this, when you're talking of the horse belt, the lajam, what's the English again? Oh, yeah, the lajam, the horse belt, that thing worn on the horse from the mouth, to ease controlling and the navigation while on trips. So that thing is called a lajam. So when you fix the lajam into the horse's mouth or the horse's, head, it's called what? That is an example of what al-idgham means. So when I say adghamtu al-lajama fi famm al-faras, I inserted, I fused in the horse's belt into its mouth. That is just a very simple example of al-idgham. So adghamtu al-lajama fi famm al-faras. So I've said now that Al-Idgham is the opposite of Al-Izhar. Izhar means showing something, making something vivid. That is why when you are talking of Al-Idgham, Al-Izhar in Nuun Sakinah and Tanween, you would pronounce the Nuun Sakinah. We would see it by itself, on its own, without suspending that Nuun Sakinah, that Idgham, into the next Arabic alphabet. While for Al-Idgham, in simple words, it is infusing or inserting Nuun Sakinah or Tanween into the next Arabic alphabet. That is just it in simple words. That means to say, we will be putting Nuun Sakinah or Tanween into the next Arabic alphabet that comes after it. Now, if you could remember very well when we were talking about Al-Izhar, we said Izhar happens in 6 Arabic alphabets, and that is what the Huruf al-Halq. And the Huruf al-Halq are 6. Al-Hamza, Al-Ha, Al-Ain, Al-Ha, Al-Ghain, and Al-Kha. That is Huruf al-Halq. Of Al-Idgham, surely it would have its own Arabic alphabet. And one simple rule is that in Tajweed, once I have said that Al-Izhar, this 6 Arabic alphabets belongs to Al-Izhar, it can never belong to any of the remaining 3 rulings of Nuun Sakinah and Tanween. That is to say, we've already said that Nuun Sakinah will come before any of these 6 Arabic alphabets. Nuun Sakinah cannot come before any of these 6 alphabets and then you call it any other thing aside from what Al-Izhar. That is the ruling. That means we have 6 Arabic alphabets removed from the whole entire 28 Arabic alphabets. Remaining how many now? Remaining 22. Now, out of those 22, some will go to Idgham. Anyone that goes to Idgham will not belong to the remaining 2 or the remaining 3. Out of those that go to, now, if some goes to Idgham, then some will go to Iqlab and some will go to Ikhfa. So that is how they shared those 4 rulings of Nuun Sakinah and Tanween. They shared those Arabic alphabets within themselves. So now, we've known that Al-Izhar, this 6 Arabic alphabet belongs to Al-Izhar. The question now is, what are the Arabic alphabet that belongs to Al-Idgham? Same thing too here. Al-Idgham has how many alphabets? 6. 6 alphabets. and that is what? Yarmalun. It's being compiled together. Those 6 alphabets is being compiled together in Yarmalun. By Yarmalun, I mean Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon. Yarmalun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon. That means to say, anytime, anywhere, anyhow you're reading or reciting the Quran and you come across a Noon or a Tanween preceding any of these 6 Arabic alphabets, the ruling would be what? Al-Idghaam. And what is Al-Idghaam? Al-Idghaam means fusion or insertion or inserting the Nuun Sakinah into the coming word, or sorry, into the coming alphabet or into the next alphabet. That is the ruling. You know, in Izhar, you don't insert, you make it vivid, you show it. That is Izhar. Of Idgham, you insert the Nuun Sakinah into the next Arabic alphabet. Do you understand this to an extent? Now let us give ourselves some examples where I'll be able to also, illustrate some things we are saying. Now, I deliberately did not bring examples or write them down in order for you to know that these things are practical in the Quran itself. You can see I opened anywhere. Now, when presently in Surah Maryam, فَقُلِي وَاشْرَبِي وَقَرِّ عَيْنًا فَإِمَّا تَرَيِنَّ مِنَ الْبَشَرِ أَحَدًا فَقُولِي إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنسِيًّا. Now, I've seen one example. يَا أُخْتَ هَارُونَ مَا كَانَ أَبُوكِ امْرَأَ سَوْءٍ وَمَا كَانَتْ سَوْءٍ. Can you see? وَمَا كَانَتْ أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا. Am I correct? Yeah, أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا. Yeah, no. Can you see what happened here? سَوْءٍ. This Tanween here, if it was to be under Idgham, if it was to be under Izhar, how would we have pronounced it? We would have said سَوْءٍ وَمَا سَوْءٍ وَمَا. But because Waw here is not belonging to any of these huruf al-halq, this Waw here is not belonging to any of these huruf al-halq, so it cannot be what? It cannot be shown. It is very sure that we will not show the Tanween here. What we are now to do, we are now to go and look for where does Waw belong. Waw belongs to huruf al-idgham. It is part of the harf. It's part of the huruf under Yarmalun, which Yarmalun belongs to huruf al-idgham. Do you understand? That means we need to fuse, we need to insert the Tanween here into this Waw. That is why we said سَوْءٍ وَمَا سَوْءٍ. Can you see what just happened? I did not say سَوْءٍ wa. I did سَوْءٍ وَمَا كَانَتْ سَوْءٍ. Do you get it now? So سَوْءٍ E. That's the first fatha. سَوْءِ under fatha. Under the kasra. So when you are doing it for Tanween, سَوْءِ that's the first one. Then you take your nose on the Tanween already. By the Tanween, you go straight into the Wa. So you inserted the Tanween here into this Wa. سَوْءٍ وَمَا كَانَتْ أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا. That is one example. Now let me use this same verse for the next one. Now I was telling you something when I was explaining Al-Izhar. I said the Tanween would be written together. But here, under anything that is not Izhar, under Idgham, it will be reading slightly, like a little bit apart. That is what we have here. Can you see this now? It's written like this. But here it's written together. That is how you know Al-Idgham. Do you understand? Now, the same thing happened here too. at the end of this verse, it is سَوْءٍ وَمَا كَانَتْ أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا. That's if you are stopping on it. But what is starting the next verse is what? Ya ukhta Harun. That is, you have Ya ukhta Harun. Now, this is what will happen here. You know, this is a verse. Let's assume we want to like link it together. It would be, you know, also we've learned that Ya here is also what? An Arabic from what? It's also an alphabet from the 6 Arabic alphabet that belongs to Al-Idghaam. Do you understand that? So it would be, we want to infuse or insert this tanween into this Ya. So we have something like Baghiya, Ya, Ya, Ya. That's what I want to pronounce. Ya, Ya. Baghiya, Ya. That's the first fatha. But with tanween, but when I want to insert the tanween, we are not saying Baghiyan, Ya. That will be izhar. We're not doing izhar. Why? Because the Ya coming after the tanween is not an huruf al-halq. So because it's not under huruf al-halq, we would not pronounce it as what al-izhar. It will not be vivid. It will not be shown. But because Ya is under idgham, it will be infused into themselves. So it will be Baghiyan ya ukhta Harun. Baghiyan ya ukhta Harun. Simple. I hope you are able to like understand this now. Let's see if we can get one more example for tanween. I've seen one here. Okay, that's izhar. Now let me quickly test our knowledge. When I say Salamun, for example, I've said the answer already, but then let me just put it. Now here, Salamu, Mim Dhammatan. You know, what's true is I've told you that when it comes to idgham, the tanween would be written for dhamma, it will be written for dhammatan, it will be written in 2 for idgham, for anything aside from al-izhar. So when you've already seen that this mim is with the collapsed one, you know already that what? That this tanween is what? Al-izhar. So another thing for you to further what? Assure yourself is that what? Ain is coming after it. That is to say, Salamun. It would be a tajweed blunder for you to say Salamun alaykum. Ain is huruf al-halq. Huruf al-halqi is under izhar when it comes to Nuun Sakinah and Tanween. So it would be read as Salamun alaykum, not Salamun alaykum. Do you understand? Salamun alayk. No. Salamun alayk. I hope you are able to like relate to this explanation. That is that about that. Let's see to get one more example. I wish to give ourselves one example for the Sakinah. قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم لئن لم good. This is what I'm looking for. Now, there is one thing when it comes to Al-Idghaam. Al-Idghaam is divided into 2. We have, okay, let me try to clean this off. Al-Idghaam is divided into 2. We have the first one, Al-Idghaam bi-Ghunna. Al-Idghaam bi-Ghunna. Now, when I say Al-Idghaam bi-Ghunna, the Ghunna means that tanween sound, that sound that comes in from that is being articulated from your nostrils. That is what al-ghunna. So al-idgham bi-ghunna is when you say that an idgham, an infusion of Nuun Sakinah into the Nuun Sakinah or tanween into any of this Arabic alphabet with that That is al-idgham bi ghunna. The second one is al-idgham bi ghayri ghunna. Bi ghayri ghunnatin. When I say al-idgham bi ghayri ghunna, it means an infusion or an insertion of the Nuun Sakinah or Tanween into any of these 6 Arabic alphabets without the you know that sound. When we say وَمَن يَعْمَلْ, for example, فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. Okay, good. This was the example I've been looking for. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ in Surah Zilzala. Now, look here. When you say فَمَن, then the Nuun Sakinah, if it was to be idhar, it would be فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. But because ya does not belong to this 6 Arabic alphabet, it is not idhar. It is what? Al-idgham. So it would be, we are inserting the Nuun Sakinah here, the ghunna, the tanween, or the Nuun Sakinah here, we want to insert it into ya. So it would be فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. So with this now, this is an example of what al-idgham bi ghunna. Why? Because you can see that tanween. Sorry, you can see that ghunna. The ghunna is the sound that comes out from your what? From your nostrils. That is the ghunna. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. So now, for idgham bi ghunna, I hope you understand what idgham bi ghunna is now. Now, for idgham bi ghunna, out of this 6 Arabic alphabet, the only Arabic alphabet that you would be able to, when you're inserting the Nuun Sakinah or the Tanween into them, you would have to put ghunna is Ya, Noon, Mim, and Wa. Yan, Ya, Noon, Mim, and Wa. That is to say, anytime you are inserting Nuun Sakinah into Nuun Sakinah or Tanween into Ya, you put ghunna. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ. Anytime you are inserting Nuun Sakinah or Tanween into Noon, مِن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. من نعمة فمن الله. You know Noon is not under huruf al-halq, so it's true that we're not doing izhar. So because we know Noon is under idgham, but where under idgham bi ghunna, you put what? You put ghunna. That will be there. فَمَن يَعْمَلْ من نعمة فمن الله. مما لله. For mim. مما لله. مما لله. مما لله. For mim now. You know we are putting Noon into mim here. So because we are putting Noon into mim, and mim belongs to huruf al-idgham, it's surely not izhar. We are not showing, it will not be min mali, no. But because mim here is what? Is huruf al-idgham, we are doing what? We are infusing or inserting the Nuun Sakinah into it, right? But then, what kind of insertion is it? It's an insertion with what? With ghunna. So it will be mimma lillah. Do you get it now? Now with tanween, I think we got one example the other time. Saw'in wama. Saw'in wama kanat. So saw'in wama kanat. Can you see the presence of that ghunna there? That is what al-idgham bi ghunna. I hope you understand. That's why I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by anything. Now, Al-Idghaam bi ghunna is the opposite of Al-Idghaam bi ghunna. That is to say, you will be doing an insertion without ghunna. You will be doing an insertion without that. Now, the question which you also know the answer is, if Ya, Noon, Mim, and Wa has already belonged to Al-Idghaam bi ghunna, which is an insertion with the ghunna, You don't have any other question than to know that what an insertion without gunna will only happen where? Under ra and what? And lam. Lam and ra, or ra and lam. So anytime you're inserting Nuun Sakinah and Tanween into ra or into lam, that is to say you would not be putting al-ghunna. For example, I think I saw one example here. That was what actually prompted me to actually remember. Now, وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُمْ. Oh, good. I love this example. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُمْ. Oh no, sorry. It's not. We've not got into Ahkam. But then, let's do. Now, look here. We are doing, ra is under what? Idghaam. We know it's surely not izhar. So it would be a total grammatical, tajweedical blunder when we say min rahmatina. No, that is izhar. But ra is under idghaam, we know. And the ruling is that we are meant to insert this Nuun Sakinah into this. So it's meant to be something like we are meant to insert the Nuun into ra. Normally, that is idghaam. But then, what kind of insertion are we doing? Because we've learned that what? If we are doing the insertion with it has to be any of these 4 alphabets. If it's not any of these 4 alphabets, then it will be any of these 2. And this 2 belongs to what? An insertion without the sound. That means to say it has to be something like, if it was to be bihunna, which is with the it will be min rahmatina. But this here, we are not doing with the sound, we are doing without it. So it would be like you are totally eliminating this Nuun. Pronounce with me. You now do Mim Kasra, Mi, Ra Shadda Fatha, Ra, Mir Rahmatina, وجعلنا لهم لسان صدق عليا ووهبنا لهم من رحمتنا. Do you understand now? So that is an example of Al-Idghaam بغير غنة. So that is just an elucidating part and everything you need to know about Al-Idghaam. There is an exception to the general principle of insertion. We said Al-Idghaam is when you insert, when you see a Nuun Sakinah and a Tanween, then coming before any of those Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Noon, then you insert the Nuun Sakinah and the Tanween into the coming word. However, there is an exception to the general principle, and the exception is in relation to 4 words in the Quran. In the Quran entirely, you are going to see anytime you are seeing them, anywhere you are seeing these 4 words in the Quran, you would not be doing Idghaam. You would be doing what? Al-Izhar. And what are those 4 words? They are what? Dunya. Let me write it very well. Sinwan. Qinwan. And Bunyan. Now here, in case you're reciting the Quran, anytime you see dunya, you're going to pronounce this noon with izhar. It is not dunya, no, it would be dunya. This is called al-izhar al-mutlaq. Al-izhar al-mutlaq. Al-izhar al-mutlaq. So it's on the consensus of the ulama, of the ai of tajweed, that these words as it was recited to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the Quran, is that these words are meant to be recited as what? As al-idgham, not idgham. But then you would feel like, oh, Nuun is coming before ya, so why is it not idgham? That is how it is. Izhar mutlaq. It's in the same word. That is why you will see that all of the examples we've been bringing since morning, one is ending, one is starting another. That is, Nuun Sakinah is at the end of a particular word, and the other Arabic, any of those 6 Arabic alphabets are coming after, begin another word. Do you get? But here, dun, ya, sin, wan, kin, wan, bun, yan. Irrespective of that, it's ya, is wow, is ya. They are still pronounced or being called in articulation as if they were what? Al-Idghaam. That is just that about that. So this is the general principle. This is the exception to the general principle of infusion or insertion of Nuun Sakinah and Tanween into what? Any of those 6 Arabic alphabets. So it comes only in these 4 words. There's no way you can see except from these 4 words in the Quran. Dunya, Sinwan, Kinwan, Bunya. Just gets like that.